we're doing rainbow fan, doing this somewhat differently. So the method I learned from Helen is your feet are tight together. The toes are not out like that. That's a Western thing. The center line of the feet are parallel. The arms come up in a circle, right fist in the left palm, and the fan is extended down the forearm. So I'm seeing quite a few people doing this. It's like that. And the hands come up in a circle and you press out. Then you lower the hands and step out. Variations also in whether you open to the right or to the left. Now, if you look at your arm bone, you've got two bones. If you were doing an X-ray of my arm right now, you'd see two bones parallel. This one here, that's on the thumb side, is the radius. The one underneath is the ulna. Okay, you can remember that because ulna is also the origin of the word ulterior, which means hidden. So when you have your hand like this, the ulterior surface of your arm is that part of the arm that is hidden from you. So radius and ulna. Now here in an X-ray, they would be seen parallel. If I go like this, what I've just done is I've folded the radius over the ulna. So you would see the two arms being crossed. This action, of course, is what's involved with a lot of silk reeling. The other thing too is the muscle that's involved when you're doing a rotation is, oddly enough, the bicep. I didn't realize this until I had a bicep broken in pushing hands. But if you put your hand up in your bicep and now do this, and you can feel how the bicep is working. Okay. There's a little bit of engagement at the tail end of that movement with the tricep, but most of it is bicep. When I broke my bicep, I found I could still lift because most of the lifting action is through the tricep, but I couldn't open a door that had a doorknob. Okay, so it was a real education in terms of how that worked. The reason I'm mentioning this is that you salute and you step out. Think, and then my hands come up to the right like that, and I'm lifting here with the ulna in both arms. So it's coming up like this before I come across. Okay, so here I've sunk. And the other thing too is the fan is in the right hand. With the Chen form, it starts on the left hand. So this is why I'm mentioning this. So here's my 90. It's a little bit away from the camera so I can maximize my floor space. There's the salute. I step out. I lift with the ulna. I set the wrists. I come across that way. I come across to the right and I open my foot and I step in. Okay. Now, one difference in terms of my treatment of this sort of thing, and this is a difference with Helen, is I don't look over there to the right. So my notional opponent is here. I do the salute. I'm going here. I'm going here. See how my head, my eyes are turning. And now I look to the front where my fan is pointing. And I keep my attention there. So I don't wind up looking over here, which is what they do in a lot of the more official styles of Chen. Here's the circle. Now Helen simply brings her knee up and then steps out. What I'm doing is a trapping circle, similar to what we do in the Beijing cannon fist. So in terms of my treatment of the form, I have introduced, and I confess, elements of the Beijing style from Chen Fa Ke, which is the other part of our lineage. So I trap, and this is coming in behind the knee. It's like a grab, and I step out. And during all of this, my attention is there. It does not stray out in this direction. Then I do two circles. Here, I have a bow stance to the right. Now I have a bow stance to the left. I come back toward the right, so my weight is a little bit more towards the right foot. And then Helen has the fan go way down. I've done the first strike like that. With this one, I'm going to protect my head and I'm going to protect my knee. I adjust my right toe, my left heel, and I step forward. So you can see that the opening of the fan that you have here is basically the same as the opening of our cannon fist. So, salute, sink, step out, lift, sink, coming across, left hand palm up, open the right foot to the 90, follow step, adjust the hips, trap, and step out, circle, there's a hit. Here's a guard. Now let the fan open, shift through. The hand is not actually touching the fan, it's like this. So if somebody tries to take the fan away from me, I have the option of grabbing it back, breaking it. So I'm like this. Coming through from a different angle, I'm going to do the cross step. This vein, the end vein of the fan, is bigger and more substantial than the veins in the middle. Likewise, this. This is like a knife. So I've come through like that. I can block up and then I can stab. So you see the vein is coming in a straight line when I do the cross step behind. So heavy emphasis on the martial content. What I'll do is I'll turn directly towards you now. Here's the salute. And step out. Now, right here, the tailbone drops and the Mingmen opens. And I come up, and then I sink. Come across, shift in. Here's the trap with the foot. Step out. Both of the feet right now are pointing over here. The left foot is not pointing toward you, toward the camera. So, strike and back. Guard head, guard the knee. Adjust the feet, opening the fan, step through. Then, also different from Helen, my hand moves and my right foot moves. I step to the right and I block up, circle, and there. So, stab, turn, right around, and come up. So, here, 1, block, 2. Left hand is here, like this. So it is a variation on present the flowers. Okay, so like this, like that. Step right, circle. Left hand turns palm up. Stab. Put down the heel. Pivot on the right heel. Pivot open the left. Circle. And when you're circling, it comes over the head. Coming up, here's your Leah circle. And come up. When you come up, the grip on the fan is like this. It's the way that the Statue of Liberty is holding her torch. So it's up like that, and it's spiraling up as if you were hitting somebody under the chin. The knee is not simply drawn up in this, the foot is extended out. So you are basically grabbing once again with the inside of the foot, and it's out there. before you sink and go into the next move. I realize now that there are little points here that I'm breaking down and emphasizing that I didn't the first time I taught this, or the second time. So, lift, come across, come back, open the foot, keep looking to the front, trap, step out. First circle, there's a hit, back. Second circle, protect the head, protect the knee, adjust the feet and the arms, bring in the heel, step through. Then, sidestepping to the right. 1, turn the left hand palm up. 2, as you stab. Right heel down and fan turns palm down. Pivot on the right, pivot on the left. Circle over your head and come up. Then here. So before we repeat that again, is there anything I can clarify or answer?
How about a back view?
Back view? Okay, seriously, yeah. Okay, we'll do a back view next. Other questions?
Yes,
Okay.
Steve. Oh, sorry, Steve. Yeah, it's Anne. I have the same concern as Bob. Just reversing the instructions in my mind as I'm looking at you. I don't know how to fix that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take lots of back views, but I'm going to have to do quite a bit on most on the front so you can see what the hands are doing.
Sure.
Back view. Salute. Extend. Circle the hands down. Step out with the left foot. Sink, dropping your tailbone. To the right. Lift. Come across. Open the right foot. Notice how the fan is pointing toward the opponent. Then, trap, circle, step out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Heel, heel, heel. Circle and up. Let's go through it again. I hope that's okay for visibility. Salute. Commencement. Open the right foot. Trapping circle. Actually, let's bring it up higher. Step out. Circle. Half circle. Full circle with the left hand. Step through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the head and up. Again. Salute. Commencement. Trapping circle. to the right with a chop, guard the head, guard the knee, step through, circle, stab, turn, turn, turn over the head and up. Again. Salute.
Slow on the last part.
Actually, let's break down the stepping. So just dump your fan for a moment. So you're here. You're going to turn in a circle. Now, unlike Helen, I start off with a step to the right. So my right foot moves to the right. She doesn't move hers at all. So there's 1, 2, my toe goes back. 3, I put down the heel. 4, I pivot on the right heel. 5, I open the left heel. 6, I step around with the right foot, and then I'm coming up. Getting a little bit further away from that end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up. Again, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up. Is everybody okay with the stepping? Okay, now with the fan. So from here, stepping through to here. 1, 2, 3, heel goes down, fan turns over. 4, 5, step around. 6, closing the fan over the head. The arms are going like this and up. So majorly important in the form is the Leah circle. Okay. This is a circle that is so basic to Tai Chi, and yet it is really almost hidden in the traditional Yang form. You do this in the traditional Yang 108 4 times before you get to the end of the first section. But most Yang students don't even know it's there. And what's involved here is you're making contact, you're exchanging hands, and you're taking control. So that's the entry to ward left, it's the entry to grasp bird's tail, it's the entry to white crane flashes wings, and it is the substance of step up, deflect, parry, and punch at the end of the first section. That one circle going like this. And it's all the way through this fan form. It's a major thing in Chen, sometimes done to the front. In Old Yang, it can be in front of you this way on the horizontal. So it's a major Tai Chi element. But looking at now going towards you, going like this, 1, block down, 2, block up, and you see when the hand is going down, when fan's going down, my hand is palm down. When I circle the fan up, my left hand turns palm up, and then I stab, and the left hand is like present the flowers over the right forearm. Okay, so there is a correspondence between the 2 hands as if you're holding a fan in the other hand. So I'm here, block down, left hand palm down, block up, left hand palm up, stab, turn, left hand's palm up, right hand turns palm down. 1 here, turn, over. And here is the circle. And up, down. And then you're going to step out into Fair Lady Works the shuttles. It's a small group, guys, and I got to keep track with what you're not picking up. I need your questions.
Hey,
Hey,
Steve,
Steve.
it's Mike. Oh,
Oh.
go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say that's really helpful with the back view. You show the hands from the front, and that's also really helpful. So by alternating the two of them, that's very great.
Okay. And Judy, you learned this most recently. Is this making sense to you? Are you picking up new stuff here?
Yeah, this is fantastic, Steve. I'm remembering things you said on the very first day, and now they make sense.
All righty. Mike, do you have anything to add?
I have a question about the movement we just did.
Yeah.
I was thinking as you're coming around with the fan, the hand down, are you doing that movement, the two, with your hand at the end?
Can you see, Mike?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a negative teacup
Right. I just wanted to.
with the ulna. So you see the movement is like this.
I just wanted to verify that. That's what I thought.
It's like hand palm down, and then you're coming up. So it's like this.
That makes sense.
Good question. So here, let's just relax for a bit. Let's do some Leah circles. And now with the right hand, left hand on the waist. This is the negative teacup. Okay, it's the ulna and the little finger edge of the hand that are moving you through space. Notice how the torso turns as you do this. If you simply do the form without the internal movement, it may look interesting, but it's not really Tai Chi. Now, the other thing too is I'm picking up some stuff in this because of, my teaching changes every time. But you know how with the circles, I had you, articulating the circles. We have the between the right and the left hemisphere, and then we got the equator. And here, you're lifting. And then you're doing this, and you're coming across like that. So this is right out of the empty hand Chen style. I should point out, everybody in Chen style these days is doing this raising and the lowering arms to the front. Pretty well everybody. It wasn't part of the transmission I had from either Zhou Tsenghua or from Gao Haibin. And Gao Haibin, his teacher was Huang Zhenji, learned from Tian Shushen, learned from Tian Xiu Chen, who was Chen Fake's major student. So that's a pretty direct lineage. And in all of those cases, the commencement did not go here. It was here. Because instead of pushing away the other person, you were putting them off center. You look at these hands, and it's the same thing with the fan. You got lifting, which is pung. Right here, you have a joint lock. There's the devil's handshake. Okay, so there's a joint lock. And then you have, so that's G. And then you have Lu coming across. And then you have another joint lock here, devil's handshake again. and you come across like this before you're stepping out. So there's a pretty direct translation between what's happening here and the empty hand. I should point out also, I've never seen her Chen form, but Helen Wu's background was not through Chen Village. She has an independent martial arts background through her grandfather, Wang Ziping, who was essentially a Chinese martial arts hero of the 1930s and 40s. And I think he was based in Xi'an. The other thing too, just in terms of interest, is that at the moment, there is a cultural genocide being committed in China by the government. Everybody knows about the Uyghurs in Xinjiang province and how they're being put into concentration camps. You have women being forcibly sterilized, all kinds of really, really terrible stuff going on. There is also a repression of other Muslim minority groups in China, one of which is the Hui minority, spelled in Pinyin H-U-I, the Hui minority. Helen Wu's family is Hui. So possibility that if she were in China at this point, she'd be in a concentration camp based simply upon race. So this gives you a little bit of the background as to why this has nothing to do really with Chen Village. So you're here together. Salute. Step out. This is the view from the front. We'll do it from the rear in a moment. Then here is lifting. Here is your joint lock. Coming across. Here is another joint lock. Carry the arm, just as in the cannon fist. Then trap the knee and step out. First circle. That's a hit. Second circle. That's a guard. Open, pivoting in the right toe, pivot in the left heel, step through. Then block down, hand palm down, block up, stab, turn, hand palm down, across, across. Here's the Leah circle, and come up. Step out. For a lady who works the shuttles. Now, going the other way. Salute. Step out with the left foot. Commencement. There's the lock. Move, roll back. Here's another lock, G. Carry it. Circle. Step out. Strike. Circle. Guard, head, guard knee. Step through. Block down. Block up. Stab. Turn, 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 and up. Our lady works the shuttles. Again. Salute. Commencement. Lock, devil's handshake. Devil's handshake going the other way. Follow step. Trapping circle. Step out. Strike right. Come back to the left. Shifting the weight again. Protect the head. Protect the knee. Open the arms, pivoting on the feet. Step through. Then block down, block up, stab, turn, raking the eyes, coming across, circle around, and up, down, for a lady versus the shuttles. Okay, questions?
I don't know, in all of these things, I have always had a terrible time getting all the way around in the circles, and I'm not sure whether it's lack of mobility in my ankles and knees or what, but I just don't.
Is this making more sense to you, Bob?
Well, I mean, it makes sense, but like when I'm coming around, I end up with my, when I end up with my left foot pointing at about 4 o'clock, and then when I try and bring my right foot around, I mean, I'm not coming far enough.
Okay, let's just once again look at nothing but the feet. Now, I have a question. Would it help if the camera was pointing at 90 degrees down the room?
I don't think it would make any difference.
Okay, well, let's have a look then just at the feet. All righty. And morning, Sophie, another member. So here, foot is there. I step sideways with the right foot. I cross step backwards and put down my left toe. I put down the left heel, and that causes my body to start turning. As I do that, because I don't want to twist the right knee, as the heel goes down, I raise the right toe. So left heel down, right toe up, and that causes my body.
You have to move back a bit. We're not seeing your feet.
Okay. It's hard to give a lesson on feet when you can't see my feet. Is this okay? So, 1, side step. 2, cross backwards, put down the left toe. 3, left heel down, right toe up. 4, pivot on the right heel. 5, shift the weight to the right foot, open the left foot. 6, step around, and then stand up. So here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, circle step, and up. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, circle step, and up. Again, let me face you this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, circle step, and up. And I'm going to change on a very minute level. So you may wind up being clipped in terms of my head, but you'll be able to see my feet a bit better. So, salute. Commencement into the oblique angle. Wrist lock, come across. And now going the other way. Adjust the right foot. follow step. Trapping circle with the left foot and step out. Chop to the right rear, come back to the front. Protect the head, protect the knee. Pivot in the right toe and the left heel. Then 1 blocking down, 2 blocking up, stab, turn, 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 around, up, and out. I was teaching in Chen not too long ago the difference between positive and negative circles. And this is something that I don't think comes from Chen Village. It comes from Shandong province. Okay, so the hand that is going palm out like that, from the center line outside, this is positive. The hand that's coming in the other direction is negative, like that. So when I'm doing the commencement, the right arm is negative, the left is positive. The right arm is positive, the left is negative. Circle, step out. Now, left arm negative, right arm positive, and down. Left arm negative, right arm positive. Now look at the left hand. Okay, that's a power move. The tricep is involved. For those of you who've done old yang, this is like in brush knee, where the hand is coming there and you're executing your brush knee. So you have these 2 circles working together all the time. They're working from the beginning. If I was to move my hands in a complete circle instead of coming across the middle with those joint locks, if I was doing something like this, which is what you see in some Chen style, then you would see it much more clearly that this is positive and this one with the elbow bending is a negative. It's here in the fan. But remember, the fan form is a syncretic form, which means that it is not a single pure style. It is something created out of a mixture of different styles. Okay, it's like a dental amalgam where you've got different metals in it together to make it strong. That's what's happening here. So you have Yang style in here. You've got a lot of Chen style. You have quite a bit of Sun style, which is one of Helen's major things. And there's also a little bit of Wu style. By Wu style, I'm talking about the Manchurian Wu from Eddie Wu's family. So you have all of those together. So you have this circling action. You have it right here at the beginning, and you're going to see it at various places throughout the form. This is Lia, wheeling energy. And the 2 hands are traveling opposite each other around a circle. So if I've got a punch coming in, I'm blocking the punch, and then I'm taking it over. And I've got this available to do something else. So this is really basic Tai Chi trapping movements. Taking it again off the beginning. So, salute. Put down the left foot. Now, lift. Here's where your circle begins. And now we break it in the middle and we put in a joint lock and 2 fishes. Lu. And then we do the joint lock and 2 fishes coming across. We do the trapping circle and step out. And you can see how both of my feet are angled towards the right corner. Chop and come back. Guard the head, guard the knee. Nicely formed circle. Adjust the feet, continue the circle. Then block down, block up, and stab. Turn, heel, 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 step around, and coming up, step into the corner now, like that. Okay, questions?
Hi, Steve. It's Rob. More of a comment. Thanks for including the two fishes and things like that, because that helps me relate that to the 108 and other things that we're learning.
Okay.
And that helps me anyway, put the pieces together.
All righty. Thank you, Rob. And the business about the trapping, okay, that trap is the Chen version of two fishes. So shake a guy by the hand, turn his hand, and come up under his knee. And there's your lock. It's an elbow lock. Okay, this is basic methodology if you ever have to bounce at a wedding reception or a dance. Okay, so in the old yang, this is what you get with two fishes going back and forth. With the Chen style, you simply do this. So it's the two fishes with a bit of a turn in the wrists. So this hand is resting in, and this hand is coming up under the elbow, and you've got leverage there if you want to break it. Okay, the yang style, old yang, is softer because you're wanting to walk in so you can do things. But with the Chen style, you're breaking the arm. So this arm here, this arm here. I'm not sure what the method is called in Chinese. In Japanese, it translates as the devil's handshake. You're in a situation, as I said, where you're doing a bouncer's job. You get the drunk to shake your hand. And then, okay, let's go out to the parking lot and walk them out. Okay, so it's a process. It comes out of the handshake up into here. The distance between the hands is the distance between two joints, elbow and wrist. Or it could be elbow and shoulder. Okay, all of those are possible. Elbow and shoulder like that. Okay. We're going really slow, guys. Is this okay?
No, the pace is good for me.
Okay.
I had a question, Steve, about that movement.
Yes, Mike.
Does it relate to the Qigong we've been doing on Wednesdays with the dragon?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
the same thing, or is that different?
It's different because of the range. Okay, it's the same thing with the hands, but with the dragon, you've got the one hand protecting your head, and this is going out into the throat area. But it's the same thing. All of these are variations on yin-yang palms. Okay, yin-yang palms is something that is simply not taught anymore in traditional Tai Chi, like the Yang 108. I think it's one of those elements that they decided not to give the public, to keep secret. But it's, you know, yin-yang palms is all over Tai Chi. All over you have this principle, and it can be used to lock a joint, or it can be used to hit somebody in the throat. Okay, it can be used to block. It can be used to hit. When you think about cloud hands where you're hitting like that, this is yin-yang palms. Boom. Okay, so in yin-yang palms is continuous. When you're doing the Lia circle, okay, here, it's as if you've taken yin-yang palms and you flipped it. You've just changed the plane.
Makes sense.
Okay. The guy who in our club is really, really into this is Paul Thorpe. Okay, he's a robotics engineer, and he really is interested in what happens when a plane changes, and also at the moment of transition, going from one plane to another. So you have a plane here, and you've got a plane here, and you've also got a plane here. Okay, so how do those relate to each other? And when you're looking at different styles of Tai Chi, you're exploring all of those different planes. Whereas if you only do one style, like say Chen, you may only get one plane. If you do Yang style, you may not get a plane at all. Okay, it really depends. But to understand the plane is crucial, because you see that's where you have your martial techniques. When you're doing that Lia circle, this is where you've got the elbow strike. This is where you've got the shoulder strike. When you do lean with back in Chen style, okay, they're all over the place. If you have a look at the video I did in 2019 of the Cannon Fist, you can see how a lot of the Fajin is related to finding the planes, okay? So when we do this, and we're going like that, we're dealing with this plane. But we only go up halfway, and then we come across. So now we're dealing with a horizontal plane. So here was this plane, then we have a horizontal plane. I come through, and now we're dealing with a plane here. So you see in those first movements of the form, you've got 3 different planes, and you're doing one after the other. So here, coming up, commencement. Now I'm going to change onto the horizontal. Now I'm going to change into a vertical, but it's going to be at an angle to the other one. Now I'm going back onto the horizontal. But now I'm going to do the circle vertical again, but at an angle. Horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. See here, vertical. There's the circle. Coming up into golden cockerel and out. So that's a little bit deeper analysis than I've done in the past. But can you see what I'm getting at?
Yes, I can.
Okay, are there any questions about that? Okay.
Follow-up question, Steve.
Yes, Mike.
It's related to the joint opening. Is the feeling of joint opening as big as it is in Yang 16, for example?
Yes, it is. However, it's more associated with rotation. Now, here's a little bit of technical stuff. Silk reeling is based upon rotation. Now, here are the ends of 2 bones meeting, and this is what's happening like this. Okay, so you've got the tendons and ligaments and stuff. I forget which is which. The tendon, I think, goes from muscle to bone. The ligaments go from one bone to the other bone. So they're like straps. And when you do this little bit of twisting like that, what you're doing is you're stretching all of that. So that's silk reeling, where you've got that turning quality, like the worm spinning silk. Then you've got silk pulling. And silk pulling is when you do this, like that, and you're pulling apart. Now, the 16 mic, Yang Zhen Duo, this is it primarily. There's an element of silk reeling in there too, with the rotation of the hand, but there's a lot of stuff that is not rotational, where you're doing this sort of thing to the joints. Okay, so it isn't that one style is one and one style is the other. A lot of people believe that. They're wrong. In Chen style, you will find both pulling and reeling. The same thing is true in Yang style. The difference is which one is perhaps a little bit more obvious to the eye. Okay, which one is more stressed? All righty. Now, I have a question for you guys. In terms of these Sunday mornings, since this is the first one we've run, do you want to have an hour and a half session or a 1 hour session? What's your preference?
I see. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
just going to say, I think, as I mentioned to you, Steve, I have a regular commitment on Sundays, so I can only stay for an hour. So an hour works for me, but if an hour and a half works for the others, I'll just watch the video and
Okay.
get.
And there will be a video. What's the feeling? What's your feeling, Judy?
So I'm conflicted. I want an hour and a half, but I'm finding that my attention is less now. Like I just feel it in the last 5 minutes or so. I'm having trouble focusing on the video. And so I think I will probably learn more in a 1 hour session because I think
That's what I was wondering about. When you're doing Zoom, it's kind of more focused.
Yeah.
Okay, we really need the hour and a half in the Yang style and in the Chen style. But when you're looking at shorter things like the crane and the fan, I'm not sure. What's your feeling, Anne?
Yeah, I feel the same as Judy. I can focus well the first hour, and then I'm feeling like her. It's starting to wander. Plus, just the fatigue factor fits in.
Yeah.
That's in for
Now,
me.
in connection with the fatigue factor, okay, and this is dependent upon whatever you're dealing with medically in your physical condition. But even though this is indoors, you should try to stretch this out. Okay, if you look at that video of Helen, you can see that she's really stretching out those postures. So when I'm teaching you here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep on a 90-degree axis so the changes in direction don't become too confusing. But I'm going to be repositioning myself all over the place to stay inside the camera. Okay. Now, Bob and Mike, your feelings about 1 hour versus an hour and a half?
My energy level runs down after about an hour, so an hour
Okay.
is usually good for me.
Mike?
I agree with the old Yang. Perhaps could be longer.
Mhm.
The fan might be shorter. I think what I'm finding just overall with all the Zoom sessions in the last however many months it's been now, I find my attention span is actually getting shorter the more Zoom sessions I do.
Yep. All right. So I think we've got a consensus that this will be a 1 hour session. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming to the end of this session. Let's go through what we have about 3 times, and then we'll tie it off, okay? And I've given a lot of theory today about palm up and palm down and the circles and the planes. I don't think I've ever taught the planes before in the fan. Anyhow, let's go back and have a gander at it. So, salute. Left foot goes out. Settle into Wujibu. Commencement to the right. Come across to the left. Come across to the right again. Left hand palm up, right hand palm down. Open the right foot. Follow step to the right. Weights on the right foot. Trapping circle with the left leg and step out. First circle. Chop to the right rear and back. Half circle with the right hand to protect the head. Full circle to protect the knee. Adjust the feet, step through. Side step and block down. There's the circle. Turn the left hand palm up to block up and stab. Turn left hand foot down. Right foot pivots in. Left foot pivots out. Step around. There's the Leah circle, golden cockerel on the right leg. Sink. Fair Lady works the shuttles. And again. And guys, speak up and let me know if you lose my feet. I don't care too much about losing my head, but you need to see the feet. Salute. Commencement. Come across. Open the right foot. Shift. Circle. Step out. Chop. And back. Now half circle with the right hand, full circle with the left. Adjust the feet and step through. Side step, block down, block up, left hand turns palm up, stab. Left heel down, pivot on the right heel, pivot on the left heel, step around, closing the fan, and golden cockerel. To the left oblique, Fair Lady works the shuttles. Last time, I'm going to face you, so you can get the details on the hands. So this is 180 degree difference. So, salute. Step out and sink. Commencement. Come across. Step in. Circle. Step out. Chop. And back. Right hand half circle, protect the head. Left hand full circle, protect the knee. Adjust the feet, step through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step around and up. Fair Lady works the shuttles. Okay. Any questions before we wind it up? Everybody okay?
Good.
Okay, guys. So anyhow, that'll be our session for today. So have a great week, and I'll see you in other sessions. Good health and good practice.